Okay, I'm just waiting on notification. Okay. Thank you again, Izzy, very much.
Oh man, I'm honored. I'm definitely nervous, but hey, you know, at least it's uh at least it's through the computer, you know.
Yes, sir. Okay, boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning into a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast. This is an extreme honor and privilege to talk to someone about growing up in the nation who I actually got to witness and grow up alongside and with for many of the experiences. And that is none other than Brother Ishmael Muhammad. First of all, assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, bro. Thank you for
This,
having me.
yes, sir. This means that this is an extreme honor for me, my family, and the viewing audience to have a conversation with you, sir. Um, the first thing we want to know is what's your favorite Savior's Day memory? Growing up.
Ooh, man, Savior's Day memory. So many, man. I've been blessed to be at so many Savior's Days. I really enjoyed going to Ford Field
Okay, okay.
that Savior's Day, man. That was just to see Ford, and of course they tied it to Master Farad,
Yes, sir.
Ford
Yes, sir.
being in
Yes, sir.
Farad, and just being and seeing that stadium filled up like that, and being in our Mecca, if you will,
Yes,
Detroit.
sir. Yes,
That
sir.
was a beautiful experience, and I was in college, and I was able to bring one of my friends there who was from East Chicago, and me and Arthur, we brought him, and it was just a really beautiful experience. We drove all the way from Indiana and back, I think almost like within 24 hours, but it was a beautiful experience. Yeah. But
Crazy.
man, all of them are great. I mean,
Yes,
come
sir.
on,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now going to Muhammad University of Islam, middle school and stuff like that. What was it like? Um, what was it like going to MUI?
Woo, MUI, man. It was now that I'm older, I could see how when I was in MUI, if I go back then, I was like, oh my God, like, I'm over MUI,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but man, but back then it was 8 to 12. When I think about it, it was all year round, but it was 4 hours, like that was beautiful. I mean,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
the day, it was a nice mix up, but it was real beautiful just to be there and then reflecting after I went to public school for high school and everything. Just that community. It's nothing like that brotherhood and just being around people that's striving and believing in the same thing that you do. And MUI is just really a blessing, and it instilled not only Islam in me, but long-term friendships and that discipline. It's so important. I remember going in, one of my favorite things was you go straight into drill, in
Yes.
the morning. I mean, man, and back then we was thick. That was the 90s, you would come in, they had sections for the juniors,
Yes,
the
sir. Yes, sir.
mids, high school. I mean, that was beautiful.
Excellent. Praise be to Allah. And speaking of, MUI drilling, and I like the perspective you gave of 8 to 4. I mean, of 4 hours a day, because I didn't think about it like that. I just remembered the beatings, but when you put it in that perspective, the 8 to 12, that is like, all right, come on, y'all tripping, bro. Like
Right.
we can do 4 hours. But what was it like transitioning to high school and then going to college? And what did you go to college for? Like, what was your major?
uh Man, transitioning from MUI outside, it was a big transition, mainly because, well, first big thing, of course, we separated, men and sisters in the afternoon. So now, you got this mixture going in, so, that's where the discipline started coming in,
Yes, sir.
but
Yes, sir.
um and aside from that, really being outside of the Islam, because they're not you're not getting Islamic studies, you're not getting all that. But thank Allah, even though we had that transition, we still, stayed in the loop of, having our classes throughout the week, mainly Sundays at that age, but yeah, it's just a whole nother mentality, man. It's like night and day when you go from MUI to, outside public school.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a whole nother world because you like in a bubble at MUI, and then when you go outside that bubble, you're like, whoa, what?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Man,
sir.
it's a whole world out here. But then going into college, I studied civil engineering, and that was a big transition as well. But it was just honestly, everything that I learned at MUI and learned in the Nation of Islam helped me all the way throughout all of my educational process. Mainly because, and I keep going back to it, but the discipline, and just the perspective that we have is like nobody else. And you really don't know that because we grow up in a bubble, but people start drawing off you. You really don't know why. But now that I'm older, I'm like, well, it's the Islam, and not just Islam from Mecca or any of that. It's from Master Farad, and they just know that you're different, So
Yes, sir.
praise be to Allah.
Beautiful. Okay. Well, speaking of the line of divine, your grandfather, the Most High Elijah Muhammad, what was it like growing up with him? I mean, knowing that's who your grandfather is, and what was it like growing up with being the grandson of Mother Sanetta?
Man, I would say that I'm honored, to be tied to those great individuals. And it growing up as a child, it really doesn't hit you, like, people would say, ask that question when I was younger, and I'm like, I mean, I don't know. I can imagine, like, somebody asking you, like, how was it, back then, you the seventh supreme captain, like, how's that feel, like, so I mean, but reflecting again, now that I'm a little older and can really hindsight is 2020, it's a blessing, because the work that those two individuals put in their lives really they're like trailblazers. And so, when Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that a good name is worth more than gold, they put that value to that name, and I just see that the same with any member of the Nation of Islam. We got the teachings first, 90 years. And anytime that we represent the master and you represent Muhammad, you tied to that name, and anybody before us that put that work in, you already set up as a son or a daughter with, they are people outside already looking at you like with respect, not because of what you did, but because of what your parents did. So I take that now with great responsibility because it kind of sets you up, they set up the alley-oop, now I just gotta dunk it, I just gotta, hopefully I can dunk it in my life,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Praise be to Allah. My brother Rashad was reminding me about when Hope Davis Home was in Atlanta, and you were talking about the app, the module, and things that you were working on, and helping use technology to further Islam. Are you do you have anything that you're working on now, or anything that we could look forward to?
Man, we were working on those modules, and they're still out. And now, of course, with COVID and everything, things transition to an online format. But in that in particular, we're still in the workings. That whole crew, Minister Daniel, has done an excellent job in Chicago with the orientation class. He leads that along with Brother Jeffrey, and they just have a great group here in Chicago. And I was just there really trying to help, and so some of those things that we presented are still in the works. We're just trying to figure out how to do it where it's just not in a local sense where like we're right in front of you, but how can we do it like through something like this, through a Zoom, make it more interactive. So inshallah, we'll still work on that and get it to a global, national type of level. But yeah, anybody that's listening, there's a lot of help that's needed in the nation. So whatever you got, whatever ideas you got, just start working them, man, and just start presenting them, because it's so many things that need to be done.
Praise be to Allah. And speaking of the help in the nation, following in great, big footsteps, walking with, your father, of course, Minister Ishmael, Muhammad. How have you handled that pressure?
That's his pressure. No. I really don't think about it like that, I guess on a day. But if I reflect right now, I'm blessed to know my father as an individual, and I thank Allah for having that relationship with him where I can call him a friend, and really to see him as an individual do the work that he does. I can imagine it is like how you see your father doing the work that he does, and now that we're older and we see them not just as fathers, but as human beings, and to see them take on the mission and do that work, man, it's a beautiful role model to have, you know. And the pressure is more just on myself, you know, that we have all these examples, and I pray that I could be a true servant and a true helper in this cause, along with great men like your father and my father, and then we can keep this going through eternity.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Okay. Great answer. Okay, speaking of your father, like most of us, people can go to the dad first, but you were blessed to have a beautiful mother, one who we looked at as an aunt and was always, doing a great job with you and taking us in the white van and wherever we wanted to go, wherever we wanted to
Right.
go,
The white man.
allowing us to play music and sing and just play. She taught me really how to play spades, and she was just so nice. Can you tell us what it's like your mom's like a good memory with you and your mother?
Oh man, I have a lot of good memories of my mother. She is a wonderful human being. She is so loving, um, caring, and man, she loves the Nation of Islam. And I think that really the best memories I have um, is I really enjoy how my mom, even though we lived in Chicago, she would always want to make sure that she tied us to our roots in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and of course, that helped my grandma Tanetta being in Mexico as well, kind of made the whole, the full circle. But I thank Allah for being tied to Mexico, and it's through my mother, really that she reinforced that by through her family, and then just making sure that we always felt a part of the Mexican family.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful. And speaking of the Mexican family, how can I forget one of the people who wanted to taught me Spanish, and I maybe want to learn Spanish, and no other than Susana. You know what I'm saying? Such, you know what I'm saying? Your mom's, business, but Susana is just being a great help. And I was telling my sister the other day, I said I remember going to Ishi's house, not only playing video games, but Mother Tanetta just being in this room, and then I'm like, man, what is going on? But I ain't see it like that when you're younger. I'm just like, it's
Yeah,
your grandmama, it's his father. You know what I'm saying? You don't see it like that.
right.
Um, I told Rashawn, I said, we got to tell the story. We got to talk about, me and you got beat together. We took a walk.
I was wondering if that was gonna come up. I was thinking about it.
I said, we took a walk. You know what I'm saying?
Man, we took
shout
a
out to
walk.
everybody who took a walk with us.
Sure did.
So many great
Man.
MUI memories. Please, people, continue to like, share, and subscribe. This is an exclusive interview, so we're going directly to YouTube with this today. So please continue to like, share, and subscribe. And one of the questions we want to know is in your life, have you ever faced fear? And if so, how have you overcome that fear?
Whew. Have I ever faced fear? Yes, sir. Absolutely. On a lot of different levels. Having my first child and even my second child, I was very nervous, very fearful, because it's something that's out of my control, and as much as I want to be there and do all that, man, it's my wife that's going through that, and the only way I was able to get through it is through Allah. And that's probably one of the biggest fears right there. But all my fears throughout my life, going back to MUI being that foundation and our Islam being that foundation, I always seek refuge in Allah, in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. And every time I go there now, because do I say it just pops up like that, like, oh no, but as I'm going through that fear, because sometimes it takes time, but as I'm going through that fear, and every time I turn to Allah, man, He's answered every time.
Excellent. Okay, so we gotta ask. I mean, you speak so well. You know the scriptures. Will you ever go into the ministry?
Ooh. No. No, man. I mean, I respect it. And I don't know. I mean, right? It's never been something. Even when I was younger, that I was like, I see pops doing it. He looks stressed. I don't know, but I definitely want to help my nation, and whatever that is, and whatever manner that I can help my nation, that's where my heart is. So I don't know what Allah has in store for myself or for any of us nation babies,
Yes, sir.
or any of
Yes, sir.
those
Yes,
that
sir.
come into the nation. But I just want to be a help in whatever capacity that may be.
Praise be to Allah. Okay. Um, Speaking of your fear and your wife, what was that like? Saying choosing, the daughter of the minister, and you blending families as the Muhammad's Farrakhan's often do, but you have to have a conversation. One of the scariest men that ever walked. You know what I'm saying? You got to about his daughter. What was that like?
Woo, brother, man, that was one of that. Okay, that was one of the fearful. That was one of the fears. Absolutely, man. Um, you know, he's such a beautiful man.
Yes, sir.
He's so kind, so loving. But when it comes to his daughter, best believe he is a father. you know? But he man, he spent time with me, and we just talked, and he really vetted me. I could say,
Mm-hmm.
he broke me down but built me up.
Yes, sir.
But
Yes, sir.
I thank Allah for it, because in that fear, again, going back to Allah, I knew it was true what I wanted when I was going to talk to him about, and that was a woman that I have in my life today that I thank Allah for, and that I'm completely in love with, and I just thank Allah so much for that experience and for overcoming that fear. And man, it's a blessing. But yeah, best believe that was definitely a fearful a fearful thing. But I thank Allah that where I am today, and me and my wife are where we are today.
Praise be to Allah. Well, you being, your mother's oldest son, and I know what that's like. Were you nervous about your mom's and your family, how she would take, Sister Leah? Were you nervous about that?
Um, you know, things happen so fast. Because me and Aaliyah, we known each other for so long. Because the family,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
again,
sir.
Nation of Islam life, you just kind of always been around. And once we started talking, I mean, we were engaged so fast, and in that I was like, man, I was just kind of like tunnel vision in a way. And then when I
Mm-hmm.
talked to my mom about it, she was so supportive, and I thank Allah for that. And even if she had any concerns or trepidations, she really didn't voice them to me, maybe because she saw that, that's what I wanted. And I've always appreciated that about my mother, that if she saw something that I wanted, she kind of guided. And maybe if she had some thoughts, she never presented it to me, so that just allowed me to keep going forward with it. So I thank Allah for not only her support, but all of Aaliyah's support on her side of the family and on my side of the family, that really helped us to make that jump into marriage.
Praise be to Allah. Okay, Ishi, I got four more questions for you. I know once this gets to YouTube, everybody's gonna be commenting views. Thank you all very much. But
Thank you.
but I got a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of this month's People's Podcast. I thank everyone so much for your sponsorship. If you would like to be a sponsor or a donor, for everyone who's watching on YouTube, thank you all. Please cash out the People's Podcast to help the podcast keep going. 1 second, hold on. Thank you. I'm coming. Okay, boom, boom, boom. All right, here we go. Please cash up the People's Podcast. My brother Rashad, Street Premiere Media Production. He has a 4K camera and a drone. He does television and film editing. Thank you very much, Rashad. My sister Miriam, she has a children's book, ABC I Love Me, and coloring book, both of which are on Amazon. Make sure everybody goes out and get that. My sister Naima, she teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country and in studio, but virtually for people not in Atlanta. Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. We love our tiny dancers. Also, MTS Car Bros out of Los Angeles. Any make, any model, any year, 30 to 50% off. Reach out to our brothers out in LA. They'll ship the cars straight to you. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire, right out of here in Atlanta, Georgia. He'll ship bow ties to people anywhere in the country. Sister Kanika Yakub out of Chicago, CBD Mom Company, self-infused self-care line with creams and oils. Thank you very much, Sister Kanika. Sister Landra El Muhammad, My Letter A book. Make sure we get that. Sister Landra El Muhammad, My Letter A book. Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry's Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Coming right back to you, Ishi. Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 disinfecting cleaning services. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, at abdulsharif.com. And last but not least, my two books, which is Cleopatra, a children's book on Amazon, and my book, No Father, No Excuse, which is on Amazon as well. Boom, right back to you, Ishi.
Man, can I just say I love how you do that? That's beautiful, man.
Praise be
Just
to Allah.
something to all the family, man. I love that.
Praise be to Allah. Thank you very much. Okay. What advice would you give to future fathers?
Man. I would say to be patient. Each human being that comes into this world is not ours. It's Allah's, and of course that's taught to us by the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And it's different hearing it, but to actually experience it, you have to really humble yourself, because you see this child growing up and you have conceptions of how that child should grow, but really try to learn that individual that's growing up, no matter if it's 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old, 4 year old, they're growing up in their own special way. So try to get to know them. And I'm trying my best, sometimes that dad be like, son, you need to, but then I reflect and I'm like, well, why is he doing that? Or, how is he seeing things? And I try my best, I'm sure when he gets older, he's gonna be like, Dad, he's gonna complain about a whole bunch of stuff, but we can only do our best, and then as long as we're doing our best in our Islam with what the minister has taught us, I think all of us as fathers will do well by our children.
Praise be to Allah. What about future husbands? What advice would you give to future husbands?
Man, future husbands. Again, humbling yourself. That's been really most recent thing that I've been trying to learn, is to really humble myself, to see the woman is so special because she's an individual, kind of like I mentioned for the children, but as a woman, man, she's completely different. And I've always, my first years of marriage, I'm like, man, certain things I don't understand, because I keep trying to put her in the box of how a man would think, and that's always gonna be wrong, so
Yeah.
And there's no really reference point for it for me as a man, because I've always grown up a man, so I don't know what it's like to think like a woman. So the only way to really do that is to humble myself and really try to listen and try and learn from a woman's perspective, from my wife's perspective. And I thank Allah for her, because she has helped me with that. And I will always be grateful to her for allowing me to do that. And then her helping me with that has helped me to learn the women around me, my sisters, my mother, in a different light as women, and a lot of times I think as men, we do our women disservice by always trying to put them in a box, really listen to them. They have, man, they are, man, God's gift to the world, if we would just let them be who they are and not be so manly about it, if you will,
Okay, look at you teaching. Whether you say you're a minister or not, you teaching. That's all I'm saying. Whether you call it that or not, that's teaching. You know what I'm saying? Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, what do you do for fun?
Oh man, I love hanging out with my family. That's my number one thing, and that could be, whether we plan trips together, and my family. I mean, it could be my brother, my sister, close friends. Planning trips. We do board games at the house sometimes. We love to play like Risk and all those type of games, dominoes. video games. I got away from it, but I'm trying to get back to it because it's so much fun. But yeah, that's mainly nowadays. Definitely just having fun with the family, whatever way we can.
Okay, and the fact you said you got away from video games, you were the first person who put me on a Resident Evil, man. I used to be like, man, Ishi's good at games, man. I used to be over there like, I'm trying to catch this Resident Evil thing. I ain't catch up with it. What if I ask all the guests what's their favorite album of all time is? What would your favorite album of all time be?
Whew. Of all time, man,
Yes, sir.
that's hard. That's a hard
It
question.
is. It is a hard one. It's a hard one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a Nas head, man.
Okay.
I
Okay.
really like Nas. That it was written. I
Okay. You
really
going?
love that
Written?
it was
Okay.
written
Okay.
going back there, and
Okay.
then that distant relatives.
Okay. Yeah.
If
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would have, but as those are the first ones that come to my head. But damn, I mean, that's a hard question.
Yes, the distant relatives. My brother would play it so much. I was like, all right, I don't want to hear distance no more. Like they used to.
Right. That's enough. Right? Yeah, I did the same thing. I'm like, okay, I need some years before I put that back on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Um, well, I have one more question for you. Even though you're a young man, I still ask all of the guests this. What would you want your legacy to be?
Mm. I will want my legacy to be that I gave my life for my nation. That fight song, man, it's starting to really get deeper and deeper to me, man. When you say fight for your nation, you know, rise all ye Muslims,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
come on, man, rise all ye Muslims,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes,
we
sir.
shall surely win. I mean,
Yes,
you're
sir.
talking about nation building, and when we're saying that Islam, the way it's taught by Master Farah, will go over the whole world. Man, I just want to be one of those warriors, just put my name, I don't need a statue, none of that. Just my name and the foundation that says that we kept this nation going, and
Praise be to Allah.
I would love for that legacy to be, and that to go into my children and beyond, and for all of us to just really take Master Farad, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan to greater heights, not just in words, but just the actual world that they have envisioned and living in it. Oh man, that's what I would love to be a part of. Which we're already a part of it,
Brother Ishmael, I have to say, if for all of those who are watching, will be watching on YouTube, if this is your first, second, or third time, would you raise your hand if you believe what you heard today is true? People, because our brother Ishi been teaching, boy. Yes, sir.
Silly.
Praise be to Allah. Ishi, more
all praises due to Allah.
You teaching, man. You teaching, bro.
All praises due to Allah. Man.
Excellent. Well, is there any way? Because you're so private on social media, because I always ask people, is there a way we can support your business or support you on social media? But you're a private person, so if people want to catch issues, you got to catch them at Savers Day or something, bump into them. But please give your family the greetings, man. You know it's all love. We love you, my family, man. You already know what it is.
Likewise, bro. Please send your love, man. Your dad is like one of those people that I see, and he always so busy. But please tell him I love him so much.
Yes, I will do.
MEY days, I remember him, Junior FOI, man. That Junior FOI thing that was set up was, man, what? Please send my love to him. So much love and to all your brothers and sisters. I remember y'all forever. I love y'all, man.
Man, love you more. Same thing. And I gotta be around your children. I gotta, what I'm saying, I gotta see them. I gotta see.
Come on, they gotta meet Uncle Josh.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's mandatory, man. Please give your family greetings, of course, your father, your siblings. But Sister Raquel, man, she would never understand that white van and how it made my day at MUI. Like you see, like on a Friday, I'm like, can we go, please? I get to go to the south suburbs, please. I just, man, y'all don't understand how much your house, man, was a vacation coming. Just I got tired of being in MUI so much. I was like, we going to Ishi's house? Okay. Okay, good.
Man, praise be to Allah.
Praise be to Allah. And I want to thank everybody for watching. This is Joshua Leonard Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.